Let's go to Stephen. He's a Man United fan. Right, Steve?
Hi, are you okay? How you doing, boys?
I'm good, mate. Good. Did you expect that?
Not really, no, but I'm still not happy with the performance.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Well, the second half, we were lacklustre, we were sloppy, giving the ball away. We should have gone in and killed that game up there and then.
You did 3-0. That's kind of...
Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough by average. That should have been at least 4 or 5-0 to that we said then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got to go back
in the final third, we're giving the ball away. We're not pressing as high. You know what I mean?
All right. So start of the game, right? 0-0. It's not even kicked off. If I say to you, don't worry about anything else, but you're going to come away from Bilbao 3-0 up, taking that advantage to Man United, back to Manchester, what would you have said?
What would I have said? Yeah. I'd have still said it's not good enough. If I'd have been in that question...
What?
Honestly, no.
Go on.
Right, average performance tonight. We should have killed that game off at least 5-0 tonight. Not good enough. And I don't want to be seeing, like, at the end of the game, Bruno Fernandes going around and high-fiving all the players. You get back in that dressing room for a debrief and you get told.
He's high-fiving his players because they won
3-0. Just won 3-0 away from home.
Well, I'm still not happy with the performance.
You won 3-0.
That game should have been killed off.
The game is killed off. You won 3-0. You won 3-0.
Yeah, but then look what happens when we come back to Old Trafford. What do you
mean? You're at home. You're 3-0 up. What are you talking about? The game's over.
It's not over by a long shot. Bilbao will come with intensity at United.
Hey, what are you on about? You've put in an unbelievable performance. You've won 3-0 away from home in a semi-final, and you're moaning about the performance because in the second half, Bilbao no mugs, by the way. I know they've gone down to 10 men. You're not playing a Sunday League team. They're going to sit in and make it difficult for you to score.
No, I understand that, Jamie, and I totally get that, right, yeah? But the game was there with 10 men to go and kill that off, really kill it off, I'm on about. Go and get 5, 6, you know what I mean? Go and press. Go and put...
It's not as easy as...
You're not playing Billericay, mate. You're playing a team who's in the semi-final of Europa League. They know.
No, I understand that.
They're going to sit in. They're going to be dogged. They're going to be like, right, we've got to try and do anything we can to not let them concede. But Man United are 3-0 up. Of course, there's going to be a mentality of, right, let's not ask like Spurs done tonight. Gave away a silly goal. Do you know what I mean? You haven't given away. You're 3-0 up away from home.
A clean sheet.
Yeah, a clean sheet. Yeah, all right. A clean sheet. Yeah. That's good. You get a clean sheet with
3 goals.
Steve, come on, mate. Have you seen you play this season? Have you watched Man United?
I go to most of the games, Jamie, and I'm not being funny. We've been we at the moment United, the way we've been playing this season, are probably a bang average. Second, not you know what I mean?
Okay.
Brand League, Sunday League team. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you've just won 3-0 away from home, and you've been terrible this season.
Yeah, but I understand we've won 3-0. Yeah, we've put in a performance, one out of about 1,000 games this season. You know what I mean? Right. But at least go and kill it off. You know what I mean? Go and kill it off.
Steve.
I think you have killed it
honestly,
off.
Mate.
Hence the 3-0 scoreline.
I don't think we have.
Steve, come on, mate. Like, you've won 3-0. You go home. You're going back to Manchester next week. 3-0 up. You're starting that game. 3-0.
They've got to win 4-0.
Man United lose that game. You don't deserve to be in the Europa League.
Steve, they've got to win 4-0.
Yes,
at Manchester United.
Yes, but don't forget, right? Look at Lyon. We were 2-0 up at Old Trafford, and then they stuck 4 past us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but
then how many did you score?
But the first leg was it was 2-2, wasn't it? The first leg.
Yeah, the first leg was 2-2, but then we.
All right, you're 3-0 up.
With United at the moment, it means nothing at the moment. The way we've been playing this season.
Come on, mate. Listen, if Man United fans turn up next week nervous with an atmosphere that's nervous. They should be in party atmosphere. You're going to Bilbao, mate. You're through. This game's over. If you lot turn up next week nervous, going into the game 3-0 down, what are you going to do to the players? You're going to make them feel nervous. You should be going there with a party atmosphere, put on a show. You're winning 3-0.
Yeah,
they're finished.
I know. I understand that, Jamie. I totally get that, and I totally buy what you're saying, mate. But at the end of the day, the way we've been playing this season, right?
That's irrelevant.
Have the players want to turn up, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not going to change your mind, am I? I'm not going to change your mind.
We can't.
Yeah, you know, like
it's sold. It's sold on.
It's ridiculous. All right, Steve, thanks for your call. Let's go to Mike. He's a Man United fan. Mike.
Hiya.
How are you, Mike? You good?
Shocking performance, wasn't it? Who thought that was going to happen? They thought they could put out the bag like that, United, because Casemiro looked like the old Casemiro from Man Madrid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He put a hell of a shift in.
Yeah, he played well. About time.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire, mate, is like prime Aaron Lennon, mate. He's taking people on the wing.
I saw
Unbelievable.
I saw him chop someone and put a ball in for the goal.
He's some player he's turned into.
Well, for the first time, I'm going to say this. Now, usually it happens to us, but this time we gave that team a whooping.
Yeah, it was a proper whooping, mate.
That was. And I thought that could happen. I didn't think it was. I thought it could be 1-0 down or a draw. I didn't think it'd be that. I didn't think it'd be like that.
Last caller.
I tell you what, though, I am worried in the final though because it looks like we're going to be playing Spurs.
Yeah.
and that to me, I think the way Spurs have been playing this season and United, two of the worst teams in the Premier League. I think Spurs has got United's number personally.
Spurs are going to give you a whooping.
You know what? Law of averages, though. I don't like it. We've beaten 3 times this season.
You're not going to beat them 4.
Got to beat us. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Law of averages. They're going to win 1.
And that's the one they're going to win.
And if it's the one that matters, I'll be absolutely devastated.
I'm going to be over the moon.
I'll be devastated because I think this is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable chance for Man United and Tottenham to get themselves out of jail in terms of that being a terrible season.
You look at the season, right? We've been absolutely terrible. But in Europe, we haven't lost 1 game.
Yeah, I know.
Shocking, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if that's because the teams that you're playing are just not great, or
the good teams within the Champions League,
or that formation works in the Europa League. Because watching Man United tonight, it just really looks like that formation can do a job in the Europa League. But I just don't know if it works in the Premier League week in, week out.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? As I was going to say to you, I don't trust it in the Premier League because every time we play it, we get battered, don't we?
Yeah, I know.
And so it works in Europe, in that, but would it work in Champions League format?
Absolutely not, because in the Champions League, you're playing a lot better standard. You're playing better standard than you will be in the Premier League. You'll be playing like the top 6
I hear you, but
week in, week out.
Man United were good tonight.
They'll get a whooping.
They were good tonight.
No, they were good tonight. This is why I think on
Bruno
that performance,
Fernandes.
they will beat
where would
Spurs.
Man United be without Bruno Fernandes, by the way?
I think relegated. I genuinely think they'll be fighting it out with Ipswich.
Without him, they're just a disaster. Like, I don't think maybe he's starting to get the credit he probably deserves because of the performances.
He's a great player.
He is top,
yeah.
Like, when I watch him play, and he's just he's unbelievable. He's one of them players that you just want to have in your team. And I know he can moan. I know he throws his arms up in the air. But that's because he's had garbage round him for ages. Do you know what I mean? But he has stepped up this season for them.
He's just been training the trash, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's like, he must be standing there sometimes thinking, what am I doing playing with these?
He's playing in non-league.
Mike, thanks for the call. Let's go to Ollie. He's a Man United fan. Ollie.
Hi, lads. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. What do you make of that call with Stephen? He phoned up saying he weren't happy with it in the end. You should have finished them off, but...
Yeah, I can't believe it. I've had to call up after listening to that. I think, I would have bitten your hand off to get a 3-0 win away from home against them. They're a great team, and, we have underperformed this season. We have. But, to be fair to Amarim, we have a bunch of players that do not fit his system. He's stuck with it. We're going to back him because we're fed up of changing managers all the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I said, I would have bitten your hand off to take that 3-0 win going home with it. So
unbelievable.
I'm confident if we can get through to the final, which I think we should do, we'll beat Spurs. I don't think Spurs will be able to handle the occasion. You saw what we did against Man City in the Cup final at the end of last season. We can turn up for the big games. We have players that can make moments and special things happen.
I hear you. If it wasn't in Bilbao, I would have preferred to play Bilbao because I agree with you to a certain extent. I think Man United in finals are just something about them. I think Spurs would probably rather play a team like Bilbao in a final, but because it was, if they got through, which they ain't gonna now, yous are definitely going to the final. If they got through, you got to play them in their own backyard in a final. I just don't see how we could get a result there. But listen, Man United have done it, but if it's a Spurs Man U final, mate,
Man U winning it.
No,
they are, because Spurs are not The 3 games that you beat Man United, I know, but you are way off that standard now. You're way off it. The occasion one, and Man United, you are way off it now. You've gone down the ladder,
mate.
You wasn't 16th when you beat Man United.
No, but we pumped Man United this season.
But you was
like we've actually pumped.
And then since then, you've just literally gone down this spiral that now you're a average team.
Yeah, but the Europa League's different, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If you play in the final,
yes, but you're playing against Man United. You're not playing against any.
I'll put my hat on it. If we play Man United, we're winning Europa League, mate. We're getting Champions League football, and we're going to have a better season than Arsenal.
Yeah, whoever wins is going to have a better season than Arsenal if they get knocked out.
It is.
That's mad.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.